What's up, everybody? Tweeting I mentioned today we got another One Piece card game video, and this time we're going to talk about the Treasure Cup that happened over in Miami, and looking at the breakdown of the top decks, top 16 that did really well at the event. And I can't wait to talk about this, man. If you guys can like, dislike, comment, subscribe, do all the things. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, and of course I'm always gonna have One Piece card game content. I've been lacking on that. I've been busy with my Marvel Crisis Protocol stuff and also the One Piece manga. If you guys are interested in those things, you guys can watch those on my channel. If not, don't worry about it. But I am gonna have more One Piece card game stuff coming up. I do enjoy the game. I love this game so much, and I can't wait for set 2 to come out. I have a Z deck that I've been playing that I've been having a lot of fun with, and it's been a treat. I just can't wait for set 2, and I'll be doing a box opening of set 2 booster box once the booster boxes come out, and those will be fun as well. So yeah, if you guys can do all the things, you know the deal. So let's talk about this for a second. So let's take the top 16 breakdown, and we got 9 Kid, 2 Red Luffy, we have 2 Red Green Trafalgar Law, 2 Purple Kaido, Doflamingo. I think these are the best decks in the format, and I think Green Kid has always been the best deck in the format. Green Kid just does so much. You know, he could just he's got the double attack. He's got the ACOS Kid, which is just bonkers. He just basically stalls the game until you get rid of him. And really good green players, they have a way of bringing out Kid and setting up the board where they have a lot of blockers, so it's hard to get in to get over Green Kid. I know there's combos you could do like Otama, Jet Pistol, and all that stuff, but still, that costs about maybe 5 Dawn to do, and you need to have the combination in your hand to do so. But he's really tough to get over, and it's not surprising that he won. I believe he won this tournament with Green Law. With Green Law, with Green Kid. Nothing too surprising here with the breakdown. But yeah, I mean, let's just take a look at these decks. I'm surprised. What I am surprised is that there's only 2 Red Green Law decks. I thought, Friday, when I was talking to some people playing at the shop, that Red Green Law was probably the best deck in the format, followed by Green Kid. I agreed to it, and then, I come back here and I see this, and then I see there's only 2 in the top 16. I expect this to be a little bit higher. I didn't expect to see 9 Green Kids, but this goes back to confirming that Green Kid is probably the best deck in the format, and it's not Red Green Law. I think Red Green Law is probably second. Follow that up with maybe Red Luffy, and then Purple Kaido, and then Doflamingo. Doflamingo, I thought we'd maybe see a little bit more of him, with how well he did with last week's Treasure Cup and all that stuff, but it looks like there's only 1 that made it. So yeah, no, this is really, really good stuff here. The spread is very favored here for Green Kid, and again, it's not surprising. They just have so much stuff, and we can just take a look at what Green Kid did here. Take a look at the deck here and let's see what happens. So right here we got an image, and yeah, this is basically a typical standard Green Kid deck here. I mean, 4 Bonnie, 3 Beige. I thought maybe 4 Beige would do here, but I guess not. So 3 Beige, 3 Momonosuke, 4 Killers. Killers is just really good. You just draw cards, they have Dawn on you and all that stuff. So really good stuff here. 8 Kid, not a surprise here. 4 Law, 2 Basil Hawkins. Basil Hawkins is just cheap. He's so good. You put a Dawn on him, you attack him, you attack a card, and then you can be able to attack again. I mean, getting a double attack is nothing to sniff at. Surprised that the 2 7-cost Kid here. I really thought I would see maybe up to 3. But, I mean, he did really well. He's got 3 Rizos. Okiku is just like one of the best cards, if not... Okiku is one of the best cards in the deck. For 3 costs, she can rest a 5 cost or less. Like, that's insane. Like, that rests... It rests a good pool of characters, right? Like, and if you're playing against Red Green Law, you can rest the Law and then good in attack and all that stuff. Like, she's just nutty. The minute I see her, I get rid of her as fast as possible because she's just ridiculous. She's really, really good. Izo's really good as well too. For 3 costs, resting 4 costs or less, it's cheap. Like, and as a 2K counter, like really good. But I think these 2 cards here really help out Kid a lot. And then you do in the Paradise Waterfall with the Punk Gibsons. Those also rest as well. And then you just become annoying when you summon 8-cost Kid, and that's it. It's a wrap. So I really like the deck here. Really, really good stuff. Let's take a look at the Red Green Law, what they're running, because I run something a little bit differently than this. So 4 body, not a surprise. 3 beige, I run about 4. I do run 2 Easels in my deck. I think I have Neckel up to 4, if I remember correctly. I don't run the killers. I do have 2 8-cost kids. Like, none of this is really surprising. The only thing I don't do is run the killers. I just can't seem to pull off the effect the way I want to. And, you know, if I'm spending 3 Dawn, I kind of want to summon someone else. Granted, popping a 3-cost or less is pretty cool, but I don't know. That's just my opinion. That's my personal preference. 4 Law, not a surprise. 4 Nami, Choppers, Automas. This is the surprise here, Gordon. I don't run any Gordons at all. I didn't maybe need to take a look at it again. You know, you can decrease a character by 3,000 and just return him to the bottom of the deck. It's not that bad. I mean, he's just 1 cost. That's all he costs. And it's not bad. Lowering a character to 3,000 and then doing an attack, like, it's pretty good. So that's a surprise for me. Radical Beam, I was running Radical Beam in the beginning. It was just okay. I'm glad to see it did well for, you know, this player. I like the potential. I mean, you can get down to 2 life really easily. If you get on 2 life, you get plus 4,000 and stay alive, right? The thing with Law is you're down a life, so you have to stay alive as long as possible to get your combo game going. 2 Brook, I run about 3 or 4. That's a surprise. Robin, I ended up cutting Robin in my deck, but I'm glad to see, you know, 4 Robin is not a surprise. You know, you want to be able to pop blockers, you know, pop, you know, stuff like that, you know, so you can get attacks and all that and clear their board, so that way you can maintain your advantage. 2 Zoro is the surprise here. Running 2 Zoro, I think, I don't know. I mean, it worked well for this player. Me, I love Zoro. I love having Zoro from at 3 or 4. Right now, I run 4 Zoros in my Law deck, and you know, 2 Law. I would love to hear his explanation for the 2 Zoros and how it did for him. I mean, he obviously made top 16, so it did really, really well for him. But I would love to hear his opinion on that, because I maybe cut down Robin to 2 to 3, and then add another Zoro, you know, go to 3 Zoro, go to 4. But that's just me. 3 Jet Pistols, not a surprise. I mean, Jet Pistol's just ridiculous. That card is, and it's so backbreaking when you pull it off as a trigger. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And then 2 Luffy, I run about 3. I can see going to 2. Luffy to me, I mean, I started at 4, then I went to 3. Never left 3. Kind of stayed there. Never tried him at 2. So it is what it is. Really good red-green Law deck. I'm going to definitely give this a second look and maybe try this out at a tournament this week or something like that and see how it works for me. Because this is really interesting. And then let's go to... Let's see what the second place here is running in their deck for Kid. Yeah, nothing too surprising here. About the same. Nothing too surprising at all. Really good stuff there. Let's take it the Luffy deck. Because Luffy did take the Treasure Cup a week ago. So that was actually a surprise. Like, Luffy winning a tournament, because, you know, Luffy, when you play the red decks, I mean, I think Zoro's the best red deck right now in the format. But Luffy's pretty damn good. Luffy is pretty damn good. And he's just not Zoro, right? So, like, I don't know. Let's take a look at this Luffy deck here. Okay, 4 5-cost Luffys, 4 Zoros. This dude has 4 manga shanks in his deck. That's 1, 2, 3. That's quite possibly $2,800 right there for those manga shanks. He's running 4. He has 4 manga shanks. That is crazy, dude. I would be too. I'm telling you right now, I don't know. I'd be too scared to have these cards in my deck at a tournament, man. This is just But, you know, props to him, man. He's playing a parallel rares. I mean, me, I would have just shipped them, sold them, and just been done with it. But he's running 4, man. That's a lot of money right there. But really nice, man. I love the manga shanks. Are such a beautiful card. Ben Beckman at 7. So I think what he's doing here is like, you know, if he's running 7 and 9 costs here, he's like, okay, I need a big body on board. And I'll say this: playing against Zoro, the most annoying thing, we do have a Zoro player here locally that I play against, and the most annoying thing that they do is like summon high cost bodies, like big bodies are just high cost, because they're so hard to get over, and they attack. Is, you know, once they come on, right, they're hard to get off the board, right, if they're active. You have to come up with the combo, you know, Jet Pistol, you know, Tama and all that crazy stuff. And then when they attack you, they're plus 1,000 because Zoro just goes ahead and puts a Dawn on Zoro and then just he attacks for 10,000. That's a lot to get over. That's really cool. The 7 cost Ben Beckman is really interesting for Robin, of course. Gordon, the 2 cost, I forgot what this one does, but that's not surprising either. Sanji's really cool. Nami, of course, is the Searcher. Red Hawks can be disgusting. Jet Pistols are amazing. You got the 2 Bartholomew Kuma blockers, the Chopper. Really good stuff here. Really, really good deck, and this is really interesting. I love to see the Luffy decks come up a little bit because I know the flavor of the month's been Zoro, and everybody loves Zoro. And I'm surprised to not see any Zoros in this top 16. It is actually very, very surprising, and I don't know what's going on there. Maybe the Luffy leadership is maybe a tad bit better. I don't know, right? I mean, I know Zoro gets better in set 2. And maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. And maybe Red just went to Luffy. Who knows? But I'm glad to see Luffy's do well, right? I mean, it's a slept-on leadership, and it is what it is. So let's take a look at the purple Kaido deck here and see what they're running. Because here's what's interesting. With purple Kaido, the film deck just came out, and it wasn't made legal. So they didn't get to be able to run the Douglas Bullets, the Utas. I would love to see what purple would have done if they had access to those cards. Because I think those cards take purple to the next level, and then set 2s, they just get better, right? So really interesting here to see what this purple Kaido did. And of course, the Kurozumi Orochi can be a searcher, but I don't think he's using a searcher here. I think he's using 2K counters. You want to be as annoying as possible with purple Kaido, with just constantly countering and staying alive and just waiting to get your big bodies out there and do your work. So that's really cool. 4 Sasaki's, X-Drakes. I mean, nothing surprising here. I have a newfound respect for Jack. Jack's been doing wonders for me in my Z deck and also my Kaido deck. I've slept on this character, and I'm glad I'm back. I run right back to Jack. Jack is really good. Black Maria is okay. This card is interesting. Kyoshiro. I think, if I remember the effect correctly, I think if they have 8 Dawn or something like that, he KOs a character. I don't remember what he does, but he's got a pretty interesting effect. Something with your Dawn, and I just can't remember what the heck it is. I can't see it here. Let me see if I can zoom in here, because this is an interesting tech piece. Oh, I cannot. Okay, there we go. Let's see. There, if you have 8 or more Dawn cards on your... Okay, draw 1 card if you have 8 or more Dawn cards. So you're able to draw a card. So that's interesting. Okay, so that's really cool. Kurozumi Higurashi at 4. Queen at 4 is basically pot of greed. 2 6-cost kings. I'm surprised. I've been seeing a lot of people play 4. I'm between 4 and 2 myself, so I don't know. I would love to hear the reasoning here. 2 7-cost kings. Kings get rid of 3 cost and 2 cost or less, so that's really cool when you could bring him out. Of course, the 9-cost Kaido at 2. I usually run him at 3. 3 10-cost Kaidos. I think this is the correct number. I don't think you can run any more than 3. It's either 3 or 2. I like 3. 3 is a really nice sweet spot, in my opinion. Brachio Bomber is nuts. 6 cost, get rid of a body. And maybe this is the reason why he went to 2 kings instead of 4. Running 2 Brachio Bombers. You kill a character with 6 costs or less, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yep, and you add a Dawn. So there's another card that can add you a Dawn and KO 6 costs or less. That's nothing to sniff at. So I think the reasoning here is, okay, I do have 2 6 costs here. It's just going to be a Brachio Bomber and a King. So that's really cool. 4 Blast Burst, not surprising. 4 Thunder Bagwas is surprising. This card, I ran it at 2 or 3, and I've had difficulty with it. It's easy to play. It's just like, I don't know. For 2 Dawn, it's plus 4,000, and I know the trigger is really cool. But yeah, I don't know. 4 is really interesting. And in 4 Onigashima, nothing interesting there. But yeah, really cool deck here, making the top 16. Got 6th place with it, so that's nothing to sniff at. So let's get down to the Doflamingo deck, because I think the kids are all pretty much going to be almost the same deck. I don't think it's going to be surprising here. Let's go to Doflamingo, and let's take a look at this deck here. And this was the first deck I played in OPO1 when the sets, everything came out. I had the most fun with this deck, and I played with this deck a lot, and I need to get back to playing it again. I think a lot of people in my local meta would appreciate me playing the deck and, getting people reps into it, because Doflamingo can really do some work, especially if you don't know the matchup, and he's a really good leadership. So let's take a look here. So 3 Trafalgar Laws, 4 Peronas, 4 Alvitas for the counters, 4, of course, the Doflamingo, which is amazing. 3 Sentomarus. I have a hard time playing Sentomaru in this deck because, yeah, he has a really cool effect. Like summon the Pacifistas, right? I don't know. Like, it's just, I can put a Dawn and then rest 2. I feel like she gets in the way. Sentomaru gets in the way of Doflamingo using his ability, but I'm probably wrong there. So I need to go back and revisit this at some point with Sentomaru, because the summoning is ridiculous. You can summon a Pacifista from your deck and just put him on the field. Like, I already see what he has here. He has 2 blockers. So he can just summon a blocker and just put it there and just protect Doflamingo as long as possible, and I can just swarm the way I want to. So he's got 5 Pacifistas to summon. So that's really cool. And then Bartolomeo Kuma, if you have a Pacifista in your hand, if he blocks, gets destroyed, or whatever the case may be, you could summon a Pacifista from your hand. So that's really cool stuff. So I like what he has going on here. I get it. It's like, I don't know, you know? 4 boas, nothing surprising. Gecko Moria is just ridiculous. Add a 7 Warlords of the Sea or Thriller Bar character back to your hand. Really strong. Dracula Mihawk's just an amazing. He can draw you cards, and he's a 2K counter. You can't beat that. 3 Teach, bounce back at 3 cost or less. Like, the combination between Doflamingo and him is just absolutely nuts. You can attack, reveal the character, summon, then use Teach's ability to bounce back a blocker, and then your attack goes through. So, amazing stuff there. And this is pretty much what I run. He runs 2 Dracula Mihawks. I run 3. I run 4 Love Beams instead of 2. 2 7-cost Flamingos, that's what I run. 2 Virgos, I run that as well. And 3 Pacifistas, that's what I run too. So this Doflamingo deck's really interesting, and I think it needs to be explored just a little bit more. I think Doflamingo is one of the best decks. Probably the best blue deck right now in OPO1. Just my opinion. And yeah, I like what I see here. This is really interesting. Yeah, this is a nice, interesting spread from the Miami tournament. I put a lot of stock into this. This is from Pro Play Games. Those guys have really good players out there, and this is really cool. And Kid takes it, and I'm not surprised by Kid taking it. Like I said, I think he is the best deck in the format. It's between him and Red Green Law, in my opinion. But I think Red Green Law takes a little bit more work because of the combos that you have to do. I think Kid does take work, but the resting is just super strong, and him double attacking and then having an 8-cost Kid is just ridiculous. And Law has access to that too, but I think Kid is a little bit more efficient. But anyways, guys, that's it for me. Those are my thoughts on the Treasure Cup. Let me know your thoughts down below. Comment, like, dislike, subscribe, do all the things. And of course, I'm gonna have more One Piece card game content. This week's gonna be really busy with stuff because we got pre-releases that I have to sign up for and all that, and set 2 is right around the corner. So I can't wait for set 2. This game is taking off, and it's been fun. I'll just say the least. It's been fun. And yeah, guys, of course, I'm gonna have more One Piece card game content. Like I said, get me to 1,000 subscribers, guys. I'm really striving to get there, and I'm so close. I have over 400 subscribers. I want to get to 1,000 this year, and that'd be really, really cool. And I probably have something planned for that. So, anyways, guys, thank you very much. Take care. Keep playing the One Piece card game, and I'll catch you on the next one.